Today in JOnAS, we are implemented Java EE stuff, and we implemented Java EE 5 and some components of Java EE 6. For example, you can already do JPA2, JSF2, CDI, Servlet 3.0. You have some AGB 3.1 component already available in JOnAS 5.3. And one of the problems is that we are only providing two assemblies. The first one is a full assembly. And if you download this assembly, you can do everything in Java EE. You can do AGB 1.0, AGB 2, AGB 3. You can choose your web container implementation between JT and Tomcat. You can choose your JPA implementation like Hibernate, Eclipse Link. And this is why you have an assembly which is quite big, because we have 200 megabytes. And at the opposite, we have a single assembly, which is called micro JOnAS. And in this assembly, you don't have any JOnAS services. You only have a bootstrap. And we can see that we have a problem if we want to customize assemblies, because sometimes people want to have only a subpart of the Java EE profile, or to select the web container implementation that they want to use. And if users want to provide some extensions, for example, we have a camel profile that you can download, you have to repackage again the JOnAS assembly. And we can see that it will be more easier if the user can provide something like an add-on. So the user wants assemblies with the right size, and they want that it will be easy to download and build these custom assemblies. For example, on the left, you can see the full assembly of JOnAS, and sometimes users want to only select a subpart of all the JOnAS services that are available. And now users want more than only a Java EE application. For example, they want to provide some extension to be able to use their own configuration file. And if you have an application, a Java EE application, you need to connect your application to the database. And for this, you need to provide the configuration like the JDBC URL, etc. And sometimes you want to provide the application and all the configuration associated to the application in one global archive. For example, you need the mail factories. If you need to send some mails, you may want to have the JMS topics and queues if you want to exchange with JMS parts. And sometimes you want to provide some shell script to your platform. And for this, we need more than only Java EE application like WAR file, ER file, and AGB jar file. This is why in JOnAS we have made the Addon. With the Addon deployable, you can add more than only a Java EE stuff. For example, you can embed in your Addon all the Java EE stuff, and you can add some OSGi bundle. You can add some configuration file. You may add some HTTP connector file. So JOnAS will be able to create some HTTP connector only for your application. So you will have some dedicated pool to manage all the connections, the HTTP connection. And you may include in the JOnAS add-on some deployment plans. With the deployment plans, you can order all your deployment stuff. For example, if you have two WAR files, and if there is a link or an order between these two WAR files, you can specify in this XML file the order of all your deployment stuff. So in the add-on, you can put every deployable stuff that is being managed by JOnAS. When you are creating a JOnAS add-on metadata, you need to provide a metadata configuration file, and this file is called JOnAS addon.xml. In this file, you will define the name of the addon. You may define the JOnAS version that is required to run your JOnAS addon. And you may sometimes provide the stuff that you will provide or all the stuff that you are requiring. And we will see later, if you want to provide a JOnAS service as an add-on, you may add some properties file in the JOnAS addon XML. So for example, the JDBC port number if you want to use the embedded H2 database. So when you have an add-on, you will give this add-on to the JOnAS addon deployer, and we are using an add-on resolver. It means that if you are importing some stuff that is not yet available, you will have some missing dependencies, and the add-on won't be deployed. And if everything is okay, your add-on will be deployed. And in the next step, maybe we can provide to be able to download all the dependencies of the add-on. So why using JOnAS addon for the pass? In this example, you can see on the left that you have an OSGi application. And for this OSGi application, you want to say, I need a MySQL connector. So you will send this requirement to the PaaS platform. And for example, the JOnAS PaaS deployer will put the OSGi application and will generate a database configuration. And all this stuff will be provided in a Cloud Artifact add-on. And then we will give this add-on to the JOnAS instance. And JOnAS will be able to deploy the OSGi application. And will deploy also the JDBC configuration. And then your application will be able to connect to a MySQL database. So for this example, you have the metadata that is using. So you have, for example, the license and the JOnAS version that we have to use. So you can see that the range version is using the same models than for the OSGi metadata. And in the add-on, we will provide 3 files: the add-on metadata file, and the Java EE sample. And in the JDBC DS XML file, it will provide the JDBC configuration in order to be able to connect your application to the database server. Now I will done a quick demo. I will launch micro JOnAS. So by launching the micro JOnAS, we don't have any services. And I will try to deploy an add-on, and we will try to use this add-on and to deploy an application using this add-on. So first I run the JOnAS, micro JOnAS. So it's quite fast. We don't have any services deployed. And then I will deploy JOnAS add-on, which is the Tomcat 6 web container. So I copy this add-on in the deploy folder. JOnAS detects that the services has been deployed. And now, if I connect, I can see that there is something running on the web container part because I have a blank page. And now, for example, if I remove the add-on, You can see here that we are undeploying the JOnAS HTTP web container. And if I try again to access to the web container, there is no listening part. So now I deploy again the HTTP add-on. And I will copy a sample, a web application that needs the web container add-on. So we can see that the application is now deployed. And now I can see that I can access the application. So we have run only the micro JOnAS. We have deployed HTTP Tomcat 6 add-on. And we are able to deploy applications that are using this new add-on. So now I will show you another demo. For now, I will launch the full JOnAS application server, and I will try to show you this example. So I have a Java EE application, and I will provide a JDBC configuration in order to access to the database. So my JOnAS application server is running. I will try to connect to the JOnAS administration console. I log into the console. We can see that we have no here application. And if I go in the resource adapter, we have only generic connection. We don't have any JDBC DS XML file. So now I'm going to deploy the new add-on. So I copy the add-on to the deploy folder. We can see that the add-on is being deployed. If I refresh the administration console, I can see that we have a new resource adapter. And if I click on it, I see that we have deployed a new JDBC connection. And if I do a refresh, in the application, we can see that we have deployed a Java EE sample. And now if I try to access to this sample, it is working and it is using the database. So by using a simple add-on, you can provide more than only the application, but you can provide the application and all the configuration that you need to use. Now I will talk about the roadmap. So the next major version of JOnAS will be add-on based. It means that we will provide many profiles. For example, we will provide the JOnAS web profile that will implement the Java EE 6 web profile. You may find some add-ons like the Camel add-on. And if you want to use the JOnAS add-on, you can already test this feature in JOnAS since the JOnAS 3.5 M5 release. The final version of JOnAS 3.0 will be released in the middle of the next year. And we will try to reduce the footprint and the assembly size of the micro JOnAS in order to be more lightweight. And we have some work in progress on the SaaS and PaaS. We are following all the work done in the Java EE expert group. And we are a member of some projects like Forecast or Compatible One, which aims to provide a cloud platform.